In this video, I'm going to wrap up the King of the Course series. All of the videos are done, the runs are complete. I'm going to announce the winners in each class. I'm also going to go over some key takeaways that I learned after testing almost 50 different rigs on our indoor course. I'll give you guys a sneak peek at the prize packs, and we'll talk about next steps if I'm going to do another series. I've compiled a spreadsheet that has the breakdown of the scores for each class, as well as the URLs for each video. I'm going to link that in the description down below. It's a Google sheet. You guys can all have access to it. Now let's get into this. I got my laptop here with my notes and all of the scores. Let's start with the Class 1. In third place in the Class 1, we had Alan K. Alan K from Clawson, Michigan. Alan's gray, very lightly modified C10 did great on the indoor course. He had done very little to this truck, some budget wheels and tires, linkage, didn't even touch the electronics, and for very minimal upgrades, this thing did great. Alan's truck scored an overall score of 5 in the Class 1, did really well. I think this could benefit from some more premium upgrades. He took a budget-friendly approach to this, kind of a beginner approach to this. Upgrading the wheels and tires, electronics, things like that would really elevate the performance. But nonetheless, great job here by Alan, getting third place. Second place in the Class 2 goes to Chris L. Chris L from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. This is Fat Tire Wisconsin on Instagram. Chris also had a very lightly modified SCX24 Jeep Gladiator, a white one with some bronze wheels. Again, didn't do a whole lot to this truck. Found that the Gladiators did really well on the course. That longer wheelbase seemed to really suit the course and performed extremely well. Now, Chris has since gone off the deep end and he's built a bunch of different high-performing rigs. He's really jumped in with both feet with the SCX24s, and had we redone this competition now, this thing would be a totally different story. But nonetheless, Chris's Gladiator scored an overall score of -72, putting it squarely in second place. Good job, Chris. And finally, the Class 1 winner was a late entry in the contest. This was Keegan R. Keegan R from Castle Rock, Colorado. Again, a modified C10. C10's doing really well, especially in the Class 1 here. Keegan did an excellent job with this truck. Really well balanced, not super modified, but certainly done right. Heavy brass wheels, grippy tires, good electronics. This thing flattened the indoor course. Not only did it dominate Class 1 with an overall score of -131, that score is enough to put it in 6th place in the entire King of the Course lineup. So very good job here from Keegan. Locked down first place decisively in the Class 1. Moving on to Class 2. Now, Class 2 was super competitive. We had, let me see how many competitors we had in Class 2. Class 2 was by far the biggest class with 29 entries in the Class 2. We had some awesome rigs in this competition for Class 2, some really impressive builds, both aesthetically and from a performance perspective. The top 3 actually tied. All of them had the same scores, but what separated them was the time that they did the course in. So, coming in third place, we had David M. David M from Martinsville, Indiana, with his cheat code SCX24 Bronco. This was the only Maz Designs cheat code that we saw in the competition, and this thing performed extremely well. I really loved how David nicely cut up the hard body to give it a really cool looking aesthetic on here, but still maintain the good looks of that SCX24 Bronco body. This thing performed amazing. I had a little bit of trouble with some pushing off of the side of the course. I had to go slow in some spots, which ultimately dragged the time down and hurt the overall placing. But this was a really well balanced, extremely well built rig, violently strong steering on this, and a great power plant. So David did a great job scoring a -133, again tying, freeway tie for first place here, but due to the time, put him in third place overall. Next up, second place in the Class 2 was Brandon. Brandon P from Fleetwood, North Carolina. Now this was a gorgeous SCX24 Carnage RC build with the Injora IR60 hardbody on it. Brandon did such a good job balancing the aesthetics and the performance of this. He was an early entry in the competition and held on to that top spot for a long time. I thought for a significant amount of time that Brandon was going to be the winner. This build to me really stood out. The Carnage RC chassis in particular. This was the first Carnage Alien chassis that I've driven myself, and we saw more trucks come along with the Carnage RC chassis, and they all did extremely well. So this was a great performing chassis. Combine that with the aesthetics that Brandon did with the Little Guy Racing Parts wheels, the color combinations he used. This was just an overall great build. Again, Brandon tied for first place, three-way tie with an overall score of -133, but due to the timing, he edged out David for second, but didn't quite clinch that first place spot. The Class 2 winner was Lucas H with his custom cliffhanger build. Lucas is from the UK, making the trip across the big pond to dominate the course. I say dominate, again tying for first place here, but decisively winning on time. Lucas's homemade chassis kit that he designs and prints himself really crushed it on the course. I mean, this thing was well balanced, it was poised, great power plant in it, tons of clearance in the rear, great grip. The thing navigated the course super quick, again scoring an overall score of -133, but doing it in a significantly less time than the other top Class 2 competitors. Now Lucas has continued to refine his chassis. He's now offering metal rails for this rather than just printed. He's also addressed the very sharp sliders on this. This is one of the things that I think it could have done even better, but the pointy sliders on it got me hung up a couple of times on the breakovers on some of the obstacles on the course. But Lucas has since addressed that, and I'm looking forward to get my hands on one of his newer chassis kits to see how much better it is. Nonetheless, great job by Lucas, nailing down first place in the ultra competitive Class 2. Moving on to Class 3. Now we had 10 rigs in the Class 3. I thought we were gonna have a very small class here, but we did get some good rigs in this competition. Class 3 was really fun. It really got to see people showcasing their creativity with these kind of unlimited style builds. Coming in third place in the Class 3, we had Jeff Y from Perrysburg, Ohio in his aluminum Warthog build. Now, this thing was gorgeous. I remember opening the box and seeing this thing. It is stunningly good looking, the way he's put this thing together with the aluminum Warthog chassis, the beveled edges with the raw unfinished aluminum, the gold axle up front, the brass servo, the 1552 wheels. This thing stands out to me as one of, if not the best looking SCX24s that we had in the competition. Jeff just did a really good job with the look of this. It also had the performance to back it up. That Warthog chassis is a great LCG high performance chassis kit. Couple of drawbacks with this, I felt like it sat a little bit high, addressing the suspension, maybe taking the springs out, using a different style shock to really slam that thing down. We had some issues with it unloading on the declines, which ultimately hurt us, but this thing did put up a score of -118, locking it into third place. It did tie for third place, but again, just edging out fourth place, which was Ryan H in his Injora buggy, edging out Ryan by virtue of time that Jeff made it around the course. Second place in the Class 3 goes to Derek C from Belmar, New Jersey. I think it's Belmar, New Jersey. From New Jersey nonetheless, Derek C, another late entry in the competition. Derek had the Venge RC build. Great looking chassis. I love the Venge chassis. They, again, have a great blend of performance and aesthetic with the materials that those kits are offered in their look. They remind me of the Slayer, but it's just got a very cool, organic, unique look to it, and they perform amazing. So Derek did a really good job with this kit. This was the only kit that we saw that utilized a carrier bearing, gave us that ultra high clearance in the rear. This again might be a chassis that I want to build myself to kind of copy Derek's build here to see how capable it could be in some more aggressive rocks, something like our favorite crawling spot in Crawler Heaven. I'd really like to see how this would do in a more challenging situation. Derek's build did great. I think some of the things holding this back was the tire and insert combination, utilizing the Little Guy Racing Parts Trail King tires, which are a great tire, but I feel like they've been eclipsed from a performance standpoint by some of the newer tires that have come out lately. Nonetheless, Derek's rig did great on the course, scoring an overall score of -133, putting it squarely in second place in the Class 3. Finally, first place in the Class 3 goes to Lane. Lane R from Vernal, Utah was an early entrant in the competition, dominated from the get-go. Lane's kind of Mad Max style Injora Class 3 buggy flattened the course. It was the only rig in the competition to put up 3 perfect runs to nail an absolute perfect score across the board. Lane's build showcased some of the best components that we later saw replicated in the competition, including the trencher tires, which seemed to hook up extremely well on the indoor course, and proved over and over again that they were the best performing tire that we experienced. The power plant in Lane's build also was another one that was replicated in other builds that delivered the best power, I feel. That was the combination of the Injora Fat Viper brushless motor and the FuriTech Lizard Pro. Those two seemed to work extremely well and gave it such linear power. Excellent power delivery, tons of torque on the low end, plenty of wheel speed to wind it out. So the overall setup that Lane did here with the custom wheelbase, the great power plant, the grippy tires, it all came together with the perfect run and a score of -138. Not only did he do it with the points, he also had the fastest time, consistently scoring in the low 2 minutes. So great run here by Lane and a decisive victory in the Class 3. All right, guys, those were your top placements in the Class 1, 2, and 3. Now, we do still have the Viewer's Choice Award where I need your help. I need you guys to comment down below. What truck was your favorite? I'm gonna pick one based on your guys' comments down below as the Viewer's Choice Award, and they'll also get a unique prize pack. Talk about some key takeaways from my part. Now, I mentioned some of the things in Lane's build that I really took away as standout performance features. The best motor and ESC combination that I experienced in this competition was the Fat Viper and the Lizard Pro. Just an excellent combination there. So that's something that I'm going to be incorporating into a best of build, which is something I'm going to talk about a little later. Tires, also mentioned tires. So the Trencher tires certainly performed the best out of everything that we experienced. And this was consistently demonstrated by every rig that ran those Trencher tires. They just hooked up on all of the terrain that we had on the indoor course. From a wheelbase perspective, the Gladiators seemed to perform extremely well, even very lightly modified. Didn't take a whole lot for a Gladiator build or truck with a Gladiator length wheelbase to do extremely well on this. It seemed to be the right balance of wheelbase in terms of climbing to get us up over the vertical obstacles, but then also was enough to navigate through the tight gates. But my biggest takeaway from this is just the creativity and the ingenuity from the RC community, and the enthusiasm and the support for one another's builds. This was a really fun experience to see people chiming in the comments, both offering suggestions on how to improve it and also congratulating one another on their placings. I loved getting my hands on some of these really creative, unique builds. It's really opened my eyes to unconventional ways of building these trucks. Like, just when you think you've seen it all and done it all, you get something that's completely outside of the box, and it really kind of rewires how you think about your builds. So this was extremely fun to get my hands on some of these really unique and creative builds. And I really sincerely want to thank everybody for trusting me with your trucks and sending them in so we could showcase them in this competition. For everyone that I did not get a chance to feature on the course, maybe we'll do another one, I'm not sure. As you can see, I'm in my new studio here. I do not have a course at the moment. I've been without one for almost 2 months now. My new one is currently being built. I'm still on the fence if I'm going to do another series or not. This was really challenging from a logistics standpoint. I held on to people's rigs way too long because I got severely backlogged. It took me forever to get through the video content. As you can see, we're almost a year in here and I'm finally wrapping it up. So I'm not quite sure if I'll do another one or not. To be determined. We'll see when I get the new course. And here's a sneak peek of some of the prize packs I'm putting together here. Now, I still have some stuff I'm waiting for that's being shipped from overseas. But huge shout out to our sponsors, Mofo RC, Injora, Meus Racing. We got some great stuff, including the new Class 1 kit from Mofo, brushless motors, electric screwdrivers, chassis kits, axles, tires. We got a bunch of great stuff we're gonna be giving away. I've also designed a custom logo. We're gonna be giving away t-shirts and stickers and some swag to the winners as well. And that's gonna wrap it up, guys. That's the finale of the King of the Course Series 1. Thank you all again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this series. I appreciate everyone who followed along. And again, big thanks to everyone who sent in their trucks. As challenging as this was logistically, it was really rewarding and a ton of fun and a great way to interact with you guys, the viewers in the community. So an overall great experience. I hope you guys feel the same. And remember, please vote in the comments down below. Who do you think is the viewer's choice winner of this competition as well? I got to pick one truck based on your guys' votes. And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.